I will be reading The Paper Bag Princess, story by Robert Munsch, and the art by Michael Marchenko. I would read this book probably to second and third graders. It's really awesome because it appeals to younger students. You know, the pictures are funny and the sentences are short, but older students would have an easier time grasping the lessons of being humble and being a good friend. So, The Paper Bag Princess. Looking at the cover, we find it's kind of funny because we have this princess and a paper bag talking to a dragon. Princesses don't normally wear paper bags or talk to dragons. Let's see what that's about. The Paper Bag Princess. To Elizabeth. Elizabeth was a beautiful princess. She lived in a castle and had expensive princess clothes. She was going to marry a prince named Ronald. There's Princess Elizabeth in her expensive princess clothes and her soon-to-be husband, Prince Ronald. What do you think about Prince Ronald just from this picture? Do you think he's a nice guy? Does he look mean? Unfortunately, a dragon smashed her castle, burned all her clothes with his fiery breath, and carried off Prince Ronald. I'm going to take a close-up onto the dragon's face. He looks really happy with what he's done. Elizabeth decided to chase the dragon and get Ronald back. She looked everywhere for something to wear, but the only thing she could find that was not burnt was a paper bag. So she put on the paper bag and followed the dragon. He was easy to follow because he left a trail of burnt forest and horses' bones. So we see all the bones laying on the ground and the burnt trees, and Elizabeth is clearly not happy. Finally, Elizabeth came to a cave with a large door that had a huge knocker on it. She took hold of the knocker and banged on the door. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Well, a princess! I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." He slammed the door so fast that Elizabeth almost got her nose caught. So here we have Elizabeth at the dragon's door, and he's telling her to go away. Not a very nice dragon. Elizabeth grabbed the knocker and banged on the door again. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Go away! I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." "Wait!" shouted Elizabeth. "Is it true that you are the smartest and fiercest dragon in the whole world?" "Yes," said the dragon. Does the dragon look proud of himself? He's a very proud dragon. "Is it true," said Elizabeth, "that you can burn up 10 forests with your fiery breath?" "Oh, yes," said the dragon, and he took a huge, deep breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 50 forests. There goes the dragon, burning up 50 forests. Not very eco-friendly. "Fantastic," said Elizabeth. And the dragon took another huge breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 100 forests. "Magnificent," said Elizabeth. And the dragon took another huge breath, but this time nothing came out. The dragon didn't even have enough fire left to cook a meatball. So here's the dragon. He has no more fire. And he's trying so hard to breathe out more fire. And let's look at Elizabeth. What is she doing? Is she giggling? Is she upset? Her face is really red. I wonder why that could be. Elizabeth said, "Dragon, is it true that you can fly around the world in just 10 seconds?" "Why, yes," said the dragon, and jumped up and flew all the way around the world in just 10 seconds. He was very tired when he got back, but Elizabeth shouted, "Fantastic! Do it again!" And so we can see the trail where the dragon was flying so fast. There's more bones on the ground, too. So the dragon jumped up and flew around the whole world in just 20 seconds. When he got back, he was too tired to talk, and he lay down and went straight to sleep. Taking a look at the dragon, he looks really exhausted, like he's out of breath. Look at Elizabeth. What do you think she's thinking? Or how does she feel? Elizabeth whispered very softly, "Hey, dragon." The dragon didn't move at all. She lifted up the dragon's ear and put her head right inside. She shouted as loud as she could, "Hey, dragon!" The dragon was so tired, he didn't even move. So here we have Elizabeth, who successfully knocked out the dragon, and in the corner, we have, I think, is the prince. I wonder if he's happy that Elizabeth has come to save him. Elizabeth walked right over the dragon and opened the door to the cave. There was Prince Ronald. He looked at her and said, "Elizabeth, you are a mess. You smell like ashes, your hair is all tangled, and you are wearing a dirty old paper bag. Come back when you are dressed like a real princess." I don't think Prince Ronald is a very nice guy. Elizabeth went through all that work just to be told to go away? "Ronald," said Elizabeth, "your clothes are really pretty, and your hair is very neat. You look like a real prince. But you are a bum." They didn't get married after all. And here we have Elizabeth walking away. And it looks like she's jumping in happiness. The end. So once again, I would read this to older students because of the message of being a good friend and being humble. We have this dragon who's bragging and bragging about all that he can do, and then in the end, he can't even do everything that he says he can. And then we also have Ronald, who's just mean to Elizabeth after she's gone through all this work to save him. So humility and friendship are two big lessons in here that older students might be able to grasp easier than younger kids. So, Paperback Princess.